Yo, what is up guys, it's Poke here. So I've decided to make a quick HMC sign clip tutorial because a lot of people have been asking me how can I do this trick or what am I even doing. So here's basically what I do. Also make sure to watch until the end because there are some tips that will help you with your consistency. There are also some other things that you might not know until you spend a lot of time with this trick. So basically at the start here, you're going to want to do a C down, C right immediately. This can be kind of buffered a little bit, but you're going to want to do a C down, C right. You're not going to want to change the camera, so this is going to be in Lakitu cam, and you're going to want to hold up on this. So something like this, right? The first tip here, sometimes you might get the wrong angle, and there is this thing with the Mario camera that people don't really know why it happens, but the camera angle that you get from the C down, C right sometimes can be completely out of whack and just doesn't make sense at all. Apparently the code for the camera is like 10,000 lines long and no one has read it, which is fair because I wouldn't either. That's just something that could happen. Sometimes you're just not able to get an HMC sign clip attempt because your camera is just bad. But if you're in a run, most of the time you'll actually be able to get an attempt, so that shouldn't be an issue if you're doing this in a run. This is more if you're kind of just like practicing and you're seeing that the camera isn't doing what it should do. So here I got the glitched camera, or the wrong camera, to show you guys what this looks like when the camera is just wrong and you didn't do anything bad. It wasn't your fault, it was just the game. So when I reset here, hold up, you see Mario is pointing a completely different way right here. We want to be pointing at the sign, but here he's just pointing nowhere. Like, where's he going? And it doesn't matter how many times I reset here, he'll always be pointing towards that side. The only fix I know for this is to get a star and hope that it fixes itself. Sometimes even getting a star doesn't like fix it, and then you just have to change stages and just do a bunch of random things until it fixes itself. So we'll see if what I'm gonna do right now actually fixes it. So it's still not fixed. Let's just continue doing random stuff until it just fixes itself. And there we go, it just fixed itself. What did I do that was different throughout that entire sequence to fix it? No clue. All I did was just grab a star and I fixed it, but I did that like 3 other times, so I don't know. That's just something that can happen. So back to the actual tutorial of what you need to do. After you do the C down, C right, you're going to want to do a long jump, and this long jump has to be at exactly 193, so 1.93 has to be on that frame. A good way to know if you don't have miss timer on, it's basically required to learn this trick. Just turn on what is it, long jump? I don't know, I just turn on everything on miss timer, but just turn on long jump, and whenever you long jump, it will tell you, right? So you're gonna want to get a 193 long jump like that. At the same time as the 193 long jump, you're gonna want to press R. So the inputs are basically Z, and then the next frame is A and R. The long jump has to be the fastest long jump you can get. If you delay the long jump just 1 frame, it won't work. So you're going to want to basically hold Z at 1.90 and then press A on 1.93 with R. It sounds hard, and that's because it is, but you can get pretty consistent with it. So something like that. Here, you want to hold straight up, and you want to pause on this frame. This is the correct frame here. The way you know it's the right frame is this coin at the top. The left side of the coin is just barely hanging off of the door. It's above the door and it's barely hanging off. If it's touching the door, if it's like way above the door or way below the door, that's how you know you got something wrong with your long jump. It was either not a frame perfect long jump, or you pressed A early or late, one of those two. So you can kind of diagnose it with that coin on screen. So after you pause on this frame, you're going to want to hold right. Here, this is the hardest part of sign clip, and basically just what I practice, because the starting a long jump is like easy compared to this. Basically what you want to do is at around 3 to 4 frames after you unpause, you're going to want to do C right, and then you're going to want to have a space, so just do nothing for 1 frame, and then the frame after you're going to want to do a C up, right? And what that's going to look like is something like this. So something like that. And since we still haven't done the last input of the trick, you just go into C up mode. But this is arguably the hardest part here, which is 1 frame after Mario's speed is set to 0, you're going to want to press A. So if you go frame by frame on a attempt, you'll see that Mario has 1 frame when he sees up where he can actually jump out of the C up. You can just do this by running around seeing up and just like spamming A, and you'll notice that sometimes he'll just jump out of the C up, and then sometimes he just is forced into the C up. So you're going to want to press A on that frame for 1 frame exactly. So it can't be 2 frames or 3, it has to be 1 frame exactly. And when you press A, you're going to have to be holding up on the stick. So you know how we were holding right? When you're in C up, it doesn't really matter what you hold, but when you press A, you want to be holding up. So the time to switch between right and up is when you are doing the starting C up animation, which is why you don't have to pause buffer there, because it doesn't matter if you're holding up right when he's like C upping, but it does matter if you're holding up when you press A. After that, that's basically the entire trick there. After you press A while holding up for 1 frame, you should clip through. So after you clip through, the movement is quite easy. There is one thing after you clip through that you need to be aware of. There actually is a death barrier really close to Mario, so you're gonna have to go around it. I can actually show you that death barrier here. So here I have a save state after the clip. If I hold like towards the island here, you'll see that he will actually die because he hits a death barrier. So you have to kind of go around this invisible death barrier, like a little bit below, like that. Because this death barrier is absolutely massive. So you have to kind of hug the wall for a bit there until you can start holding towards the island. But after you get past this death barrier, you can just do a kick here and then just swim up to the island, do neutral jumps, and then dive. The neutral jumps make it really easy to not slide. If you hold a direction, you almost slide like every time. So that's basically the entire trick. There is one major error that I've run into that has caused me a lot of issues, and at the sign clip part, there is a moment where it'll look like you got sign clip, but you actually didn't, because you missed an input somewhere. The most common input to miss is that 1 frame like nothing thing between the C right and the C up. I've noticed that if there's 2 frames in between those, it will look like you got the trick, but when you jump, you actually won't clip through. Something like that. So if you compare that with the attempt that actually succeeded, it looks very similar, but you messed up somewhere in the C inputs there. So the C right and the C up. Most likely, you waited too long in between those 2 inputs. And kind of the final tip that I can give to people is that the inputs for sign clip is kind of more of like a fluid motion. I'm not really reacting to anything that's happening. I'm kind of just like repeating the same C right, C up, jump like motion in order to get this kind of consistent. You can't really like know in the moment what is happening. You kind of just have to like do the motion and hope you get it. So in general, this trick is like really hard, but it is possible, and I think it is possible to get consistent, and that's why I'm doing attempts on Twitch or on streams to actually get this in a 16-star run and hopefully get community best, because it does save 2 seconds, which is a lot of time, and hopefully I'm able to do that because I've already been able to get it first try in a 70-star run, and earlier yesterday I was able to get it first try in 16, but I choked the rest, so it wasn't community best. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it for the HMC sign clip tutorial. I hope someone out there is able to actually get this trick because it's so cool to just clip through the floor. But as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys next time. Hopefully maybe in a stream or something, or maybe another YouTube video. I don't know. So goodbye.